I remember somebody tweeting saying, "This week has been a great decade in AI." That's how fast things move.
Welcome to GenAI Talks.
Hi, great to be with you, Sam. My name is Vivek Haldar. I work at Emergence AI. I lead our AI agent engineering teams. And at Emergence, what we're trying to do is really help the enterprise through this era of transforming via agents. So we're building platforms, we're building agents, we're working with a number of companies to really figure out how they can use AI, how they can really use agents to transform their workflows.
And I think you're doing something that I haven't seen yet today. Agents making agents.
That's right.
Let's talk about it.
That is something really cool we've been working on. And what it basically does is that when you have a high-level complex problem that you've specified in natural language, we will at runtime dynamically create agents to solve parts of that problem and then stitch it all together to give you a final solution to the problem. And this really enables enterprises to solve complex problems, very importantly, to solve it purely via natural language in a no-code manner. So you're not bottlenecked on, say, a data science team or a software engineering team. It really empowers people within the enterprise to get actionable insights from their own data.
So speak a little bit about what are people missing today? I think there's a lot of people are talking about what to do, how to do it, etc. But if you have to just put the industry on notice, what are people not seeing?
People often have kind of a vague high-level idea of, I want to bring AI to my company, but you have to get a bit more specific. What do you want the agent to do? And then, very importantly, how do you measure the performance of the agent? How do you tell what good means? How do you articulate the properties of a good output or construct a small eval or benchmark that is very specific to your company, your specific internal workflows and terminology and jargon and all that stuff? Because while there are lots of benchmarks out there that measure models, that measure agents, these benchmarks are pretty generic. And we found them very inadequate in capturing and predicting the performance of AI agents on the kinds of very specialized, bespoke problems that enterprises want to tackle internally. So if I were to give enterprises advice on how to best situate themselves for this agentic era, it would be to reflect and articulate on the nature of the tasks, the definition, and how you would measure performance and how you would specify how to measure that performance.
Where is your grand view of where we take how humans interact with software? Is it less thinking about how and more what and when? Or is it somewhere in between? I'll let you share a little bit what future are you looking to usher in with this technology?
I think the key unlock is intent-driven automation. If you look at the way people do a lot of grungy knowledge work, grungy data science today, they spend a lot of their time on the nuts and bolts of the implementation rather than the higher level strategic thinking where they're really adding value. And systems like Craft and AI agents are trying to take away some of that nuts and bolts grungy work and free up people to focus on these more creative, more strategic tasks, which really add value, which really move the needle.
Yeah, and it's all going to be better for us as in consumers. So can you connect to the end user side of this? So, you're helping companies with this technology build better customer experiences, better business processes. What does that mean for me at the end as an individual? How will my life change?
Yeah, I think it all goes back to how enterprises are better able to serve customers. So for example, getting better insights on their customers, being able to serve their customers better. Customer service, customer support, for example, is a very common use case for AI agents. And having agents that can really connect to APIs and data sources and then produce very personalized answers really helps enterprises serve their customers in a very bespoke and personalized manner.
Can we speak a little bit boldly about the future here? So big bet, where the future is going. How sci-fi does this get?
One thing different about AI compared to like the internet or mobile is that it's speed running the whole thing. It's just the sheer pace. I remember somebody tweeting saying, "This week has been a great decade in AI." That's how fast things move. So in terms of what's around the corner, I think if you extrapolate the curves we're seeing in terms of both the core underlying capabilities of how good the underlying models are getting and how quickly they're getting better, and all the engineering built on top of that. So the AI agent systems, the agentic memory, the various user interface applications built on top of it. This entire ecosystem of the AI stack is evolving so quickly, and it's improving so quickly and enabling so many use cases that even things that seemed difficult to do a year ago or 1.5 years ago, 2 years ago when ChatGPT first came out are very realistic today. So I think where this ultimately leads to is a lot of grungy knowledge work getting automated and humans focusing really on more creative and more strategic tasks. I think what that means for us is that we should be kind of really bold and really ambitious in terms of what we want AI to do for us and not limit ourselves to, the constraints of the systems of today, because it is evolving very, very fast.
Wow. Well, we've had a phenomenal conversation. I had fun. Did y'all have fun? I think the cameraman did too. Appreciate you, Vivek.
All right. Thank you. It was great chatting with you.
What an honor.
Sam.
See you soon.
You too.
Big ideas, real tools, bold moves. That's what Gen AI Talks is all about. Don't miss what's next. Subscribe and explore more in our Gen AI community.